Okay, Terence Crawford against Kell Brook. The weigh-in, thoughts, and preview to the big fight tomorrow night on Top Rank Boxing. Right. Let's get into this. So it's on ESPN, we know, tomorrow night. Not too long ago, the pound for pound best fighter in the world, allegedly, Lomachenko, was beat by Teofimo Lopez. Before the fight, Lomachenko had the best footwork in the world. The way Lomachenko punches was amazing. What Lomachenko does is like nobody else has ever done what Lomachenko's done before. We get the usual spool of garbage that usually comes out of these lame stream media, just being paid to say these things, basically kissing the ass of Lomachenko like there was no other fighter ever that fought like Lomachenko. But didn't Bob Arum work with Sugar Ray Leonard? He always likes to tell us he worked with Sugar Ray Leonard. Well, he sure he worked with Ali as well. I'm sure he worked with Leonard and Ali, but he worked with Leonard, and he'd say, "Oh, Sugar Ray Leonard, Crawford's the new Sugar Ray Leonard," and so are you suggesting to me that Lomachenko was better than Sugar Ray Leonard? Really? Okay. So anyway, we had all the easy like Vinda. Good to see you in the room. Leif, good to see you in the room as well. Let's acknowledge you guys while you're in the room. I hope you can hear me clearly as well. Last video I did was a bit muffled, so if it's muffled, let me know. So Arum's talked a lot in the past about how he believes Crawford's this and Crawford's that. Okay, fine, and how Crawford compares to Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay, fine. Lomachenko got beat, and the people have jumped on a bandwagon now. Lomachenko wasn't that good. He was this, he was that. If Mayweather Jr. had Lomachenko's commentary, wow, yeah, Lomachenko does everything great. If Lomachenko, let me tell you how these guys are, and I'm going into this for a second before I go into this Crawford thing. If Lomachenko went to the toilet and peed, they'd say the urine that came out of Lomachenko's urine comes out so flowingly well, better than anybody else's urine in the world. If Lomachenko took a dump, they'll tell you Lomachenko's, when he dumps, it's like it smells like the freshest roses in the world. You have to understand these people when they talk, they're selling to you a product, and they have to make their product bigger and better than any other product in the world. So when you enter the world of Top Rank, or if you enter the world of any of these big promotions, you have to understand what they're doing. They're selling to you an idea. Now let's go back to Great Britain for a minute. Let's go back to Great Britain, the UK, and let's talk about Kell Brook, and let's talk about how the UK fans and the UK commentators like to get behind their man. Yep, they tell you that Kell Brook's fighting, in front of his home fans in Sheffield, and another sold-out arena at Sheffield, and you've got the commentators for this last fight, Kell Brook versus DeLuca, right? And from the minute this commentating's on, they're talking, oh, Kell Brook, I wonder what he's got left. He went up in weight. He fought Golovkin. He came down in weight. He fought Spence. You took an awful pounding in both fights. I wonder what he's got left. Macklin. Oh, I wonder what he's got left. I don't know how much Kell Brook's got left. He's got to have to look good. He didn't look good in that last fight in his comeback against Zafara. Well, we don't know how much Brook has got left. Can he still fight at world level? Right? DeLuca, he's tough. He's strong. He's durable. He's a Marine. But he's nowhere near the level of Kell Brook. But we don't know how much Kell Brook's got left, So if Kell Brook's he's got to look impressive in his fight. Then Kell Brook's boxing this guy. And the first couple of rounds trying to work the guy out, taking his time. The timing's off of Kell Brook. Blah, blah, blah. Kell Brook, coming up and down in weight. Kell Brook. Oh, it's a good fight. Good punch here from DeLuca. Then Brook puts together a nice combination, drops DeLuca, and you know how Adam Smith gets. Oh, and DeLuca's down! So then the next minute now, Brook may switch off in the fight and this and that. Brook ends the fight with an absolute peach of a jab, lays DeLuca out, knocks him out. Okay? End of the commentary. They say in the fight, yeah, well, DeLuca was levels below Cal Brook. Let's not beat around the bush about this. Cal Brook wasn't this wasn't a great fight that Cal Brook was in tonight. This guy was well below Brook's level. That was the last time Brook fought in Sky. Memory serves me right now. He's on Premier Sports. And the commentary was pretty biased towards Brook that night. It wasn't nice towards Brook at all. You would have thought DeLuca was the guy that was the hometown fighter in that commentary. So we skip forward a little bit more now. When we find that now Brook is no longer fighting on Sky, but he's fighting in Premier Sports in the UK. And he's going to America to fight Terence Bud Crawford. Put this together for you now. Terence Bud Crawford is considered the favourite in this fight. He's the pound for pound number 1. And that's great. We're in a society, this is a fact, we're in a society of people who don't want to hear the truth. They just want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth. And the second thing is, people want to be entertained. They don't necessarily want to be told exactly what the reality is. And a lot of people today are spoon-fed. I mean, they need to be spoon-fed. You give them the information, and they don't check what's in the spoon. They just trust the information they're giving, regardless of where the source comes from. So those people go with the lamestream media, who are full of lies and propaganda anyway, and they bring it back, and they come, and when they come to a channel like this that wants to speak honestly and speak truthfully to them, they can't handle it. So they have to start calling me things like keyboard warrior and stuff like that. Well, they're ignorant anyway. The keyboard warrior strikes again. Well, the people that say that don't know anything about me or the channel. So we don't pay them any mind anymore. This is where I'm going to go to this point. Terence Crawford is rated as the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world today. Yes, B, great to see you in the room. And you're saying here, the weighing was awful. Everything, including the interview, felt forced. A horrible line of questioning by Max Kellerman. I didn't even hear the questions, to be honest. They cut that off on YouTube. So here we are with Bud Crawford, the pound for pound number 1 fight, the best fighter pound for pound in the world. This guy is rated higher than Spence. This guy is rated higher than Manny Pacquiao. This guy is rated high. He's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. But check this out a second. Just for 1 second. Question everything. His opponent, Kell Brook, has fought better opposition than the pound for pound number 1. How can the guy that's fighting, the champion, he's pound for pound number 1, remember? Yet the guy he's fighting has fought at a better level, has fought better opposition. He's fought Porter. He's fought Golovkin. He's fought Spence. Crawford fought. Yeah, when he did it at a light welterweight. And all this not about, he hasn't fought a fully fledged welterweight. Okay, so he fought the great Jeff Horn. The great Jeff Horn. I remind you how people thought Jeff Horn was so fantastic. In fact, he was in the pound for pound ratings in BoxRec. I want to digress just for a second. There's a lot of channels on YouTube that people go and listen to over and over and over again, right? They say that Kell Brook's not a credible opponent. I say he's not credible. But look at who Brook has beaten. He's beaten Porter. A guy that Crawford hasn't even faced yet. Didn't even want to face. Refused to face. Wanted to face anybody else. So Crawford comes into this fight as the favourite. Because he's pound for pound number 1. Because they tell you so. Well, because of his performances. Yes. Against guys that, as far as I'm concerned, don't hit as hard as Kell Brook. Not as physically as imposing as Kell Brook. And not as experienced as Kell Brook as a champion. A lot of people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that stuff. They'll say, oh yeah, Crawford's going to win this fight. He's going to smash Kell Brook. Nobody does that. Nobody's done that so far. Golovkin didn't go walk in there and smash Kell Brook up. Golovkin got all he could get. And then he came down and fought Spence. And from what I'm hearing, from what Kell Brook's been saying, without going into much detail, he's been talking about how his preparation wasn't that great going into the Spence fight. He went in there and fought against Golovkin in a time that nobody really wanted to fight Golovkin. If you think of the time when Brook fought Golovkin, who wanted to fight Golovkin? Then he went and fought Spence. Now he's fighting Crawford. Why would he be intimidated by Crawford? Why would Brook for 1 second be intimidated by Crawford? Don't get it. You fought supposedly a killer in Golovkin, and he showed you the blueprints of how to beat Golovkin. He then fought Spence and was out boxing Spence for the first 6 rounds. The one thing that people don't give credit for to Kell Brook is when he stepped up and he's fought these guys. He's had a pretty decent game plan. He had a good game plan against Golovkin, and he had a good game plan against Spence. And the 2 fights he got stopped in were due to injuries. Nobody's come out you look at Brook's career, has come out from first round and for 7-8 rounds battered Kell Brook. Nobody's done it. Nobody's done it. So if Crawford goes out tomorrow night and puts a spanking on Brook, it's a damn good performance. But I don't see that happening. When I looked at into Kell Brook's eyes at the weigh-in, I saw a man, and it's a look that a fighter has. He didn't look at Terence Crawford. He looked through Terence Crawford. If you look at how Khan looked at Crawford at the weigh-in, he looked and he looked away. He didn't want it. His heart wasn't in it. This is a different scenario. This is a man that wants it. Brook wants it. I'm telling you, Brook wants this fight. Brook is going to be very dangerous in this fight. Very, very dangerous. Will Crawford fight much more scared than people expect? If he gets hit on the chin, he will. Now, suspect chin. I've been saying that Crawford has a suspect chin from day dot. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. Saturday night, we're going to find out what happens when suspect chin meets chocolate brownies. If your chin ain't world class, Brook gets you out of there. If your chin ain't world class, he gets you out of there. Porter's got a world class chin. It seems Spencer's got a world class chin. He took some bombs from Brook. But I think we're going to see a more experienced Kell Brook in there Saturday night. I remember him talking about how he struggled to make the weight and how difficult it was to put punches together. I saw the Luca fight, and they were talking about him going back to the corner and how he had the energy to put 3-4 punches together and not think about a 12-round limit because he'd done the weight properly. He talked about being rushed from coming from the Golovkin fight down to the Spence fight, not having time to prepare for that fight properly. Doing things he was forced to do rather than doing what he wanted to do. And that to me, if anybody understands the game of boxing or the sport of boxing, that sounds like Brook was in some dangerous situations. Not preparing for fights properly. And his maturity now. So he looks a mature fighter to me. When I look at Brook, he also looks like an age fighter. A lot of wrinkles on the forehead and stuff. That's a bit worrying. He looks older, but he looks more mature. And I am not wholly convinced, again, that Crawford's going to be allowed to just walk away from Top Rank with that belt. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Right? Crawford's a switch hitter. He's a puncher. And he's accurate. But so is Kell Brook. He's a switch hitter. He's a puncher. Yeah? And he's pretty tough. He's taken punishment from Golovkin up at middleweight. And there's a no rehydration clause. Crawford says, I'll fill up. He's saying, yeah, all right, you're going to get big. I'm going to get big too. What are you going to come in, 180 pounds, 200 pounds? Another thing that Brooks talks a lot about. I'm in shape. Best shape of my life. Best shape of my life. Talking a lot about shape and shape and shape and shape. When a fighter talks a lot about one topic over and over and over again, it does make you wonder. I suspect that Brook has been in shape for a while, but they keep talking shape. Like, I'm sure there are people on YouTube today or in the last 24 to 48 hours who said that Kell Brook won't make the weight. He's going to struggle to make the weight. He didn't struggle to make the weight. To me, he looked like he made the weight fine. I don't know much about his camp and his trainers. I don't know much about them. But I say this much. If he's fit, if he's strong, if he's got the stamina, and his eyes hold up, Terence Crawford is in for a hell of a fight. And I'll tell you something now. I'm telling you something now. A lot of people won't do it. A lot of people won't put themselves out on it. But I'll put myself out it this way. If Crawford is the man and the superstar boxer that he is, he'll overcome Kell Brook and he'll put on a masterclass performance in doing it. But I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. Brook is getting hit a lot more in his career. But then in that last fight, Crawford's getting hit a lot more in his career as well. If Crawford allows Brook to hit him the way the Green Machine hit him, and who the hell is the Green Machine, by the way? A guy that Ray Robinson beat, but they didn't give him the decision. They didn't want Ray Robinson to fight Crawford. But Ray Robinson's already alluded to how you beat Crawford. The way you beat Crawford is to get him mad. The way you beat Crawford is to get him coming out. But that's how Ray Robinson beat him. Got him mad and came out to fight. And Ray Robinson outboxed him. For me, in this fight, I'm going against what people would say. And I'm picking Kell Brook for this fight. And you got to think, oh, I'm picking Kell Brook for this fight. Either by a controversial points decision. If he goes to points, controversial points decision. Or stoppage. Yes, I believe Kell's got the power to stop Crawford. I really do believe he hits that hard. He can stop Crawford because I don't believe Crawford's got a world-class chin. I don't believe that. So if chocolate brownies can land on suspect chin, you know what that means. KO. So I remember I don't know who it was in commentary or in the commentators or the pundits, when they looked at Kell Brook's leg, they went, oh my God, his legs. Now you know what time it is. My God, his legs. I don't think that wasn't even meant to come out. My God, his legs. So Crawford can use the usual intimidation tactics to guys that haven't fought, and can get intimidated by what Crawford does, staring him down and mean mugging a guy. But if you fought Gennady Golovkin, you fought Errol Spence and Sean Porter, why would you be scared of Terence Crawford? Why would you be scared of Terence Crawford? Why? So I'm going with a Brook victory on this one. I'm going with a Brook victory on this one. Because I'm still not convinced on what I'm seeing with Crawford. I like Crawford, but he's not pound for pound number one. I've put him as pound for pound number one a few times. I've come to think about it, I said, hold on. The best guy he's fought is the guy he's fighting tomorrow night. The best guy, Crawford's fighting is tomorrow night, which is Kell Brook. Think about that for a second. Go for Crawford's resume and look at Kell Brook. I don't say Amir Khan's better than Kell Brook. Do not say that, please. Behave yourselves. You know, I think Khan's had more fights, he's fought more opponents simply because of his vulnerability, which means more people will be willing to fight Khan. Do you understand? When you're vulnerable like Khan is, and you're chinny like Khan is, more people are ready to run up and fight you. You understand? And take the chances. But not as I like Brook. Bit different. Okay. Contract. Crawford's contract runs out on October 2021. Was it? Okay, that's nice to know. Peace, bro. This is a better fight than people think. I honestly think Brook was up for this. I do believe so too. Who have you got in the fight? Going with Brook. That's a lot of ifs. Agreed. Too many eerie news clips this week. It's an eerie Pacquiao horn show job feel to it when he reached the end of this deal with Top Rank. I know. I'm going with Brook in this one. Brook 8-1. Okay. Wow. Yep. That feeling is there. Something in the air kind of thing. Brum. Yeah, I know. Brook looks different. He could be juiced up. He could be. And I wouldn't do anything about it either. Brook looks younger. He's still ripped like hell. Perfect example. Kell Brook is actually a slight step up for Crawford on paper. Yeah, he's a step up. Spence thinks Brook will be a nightmare for Bud. Yeah, he will be. He will be. Once that initial big right hand lands, that first chocolate brownie lands, can Crawford take it? How many people are prepared to put their house on the line that Crawford can take a fully fledged, rehydrated Kell Brook hitting Crawford on the chin? I ain't so sure. If the Green Machine can drop him, Brook can stop him. A fully rehydrated Kell Brook, fired up, putting his career on the line. You know, he's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. And Crawford now is a marked man. He's a guy that, you know, he can't leave and go to Al Haymon just like that. He's got to leave the belt behind. And you're already talking about Brook versus Pacquiao. I heard some talk about Brook versus Pacquiao. So Crawford better knock Brook out. He better knock Brook out and make sure Brook don't get to 12 rounds. Don't be surprised to see an upset here. I wouldn't be surprised. There's something in the air, Ingram. I know. There's something in the air. So I'm going for a Brook stoppage or points decision. And if Crawford wins, it's because it's a masterclass performance. Right? You hear me? I'm going for a Brook stoppage or points win. So I'm going for Brook win overall. So I'm going to the bookies and putting money on Brook for this fight. However, and this is not siding it, if Crawford wins because it's a superstar performance. That's it. Wouldn't be surprised if you walk through Crawford. Might sound stupid, but something is brewing. Mayweather Jr. has his Lamborghini on line for Crawford stopping Brook. Or one Lamborghini. Was it a Lamborghini he needs to get rid of? Or is it a Lamborghini the taxman's after? You can't tell, Floyd. Floyd's doing all sorts of things, but you know, Floyd's a smart man. He knows his boxing. He does know his boxing. But Floyd's the same man that advised Crawford to avoid Pacquiao because Pacquiao hits too damn hard. Yeah, that's the same Floyd that said that as well. So when Floyd says that stuff, just remember it's the same Floyd Mayweather that warned Crawford when they were talking about Crawford Pacquiao, warned Crawford and said to him, that boy hits hard. And he warned Crawford about Pacquiao. And when Mayweather said that, I thought, this is a guy that got wobbled by Gamboa. All right? Think this out. Got wobbled by Gamboa, got dropped by the Green Machine. And you're going to stick his chin against the chocolate brownies. Don't know. Don't know. And if I had to really go for it, between a stoppage and a points win, I'd go over stoppage. I don't know now if Crawford is the home fighter or is the away fighter. Is Crawford the home fighter or the away fighter? I'm sure. Why did Crawford even mention that he was the possibility of him going to PBC? Why did he wait until this fight was over with Brook and then talk about leaving Top Rank? Or is there something in his contract that says he's got to mention it early? Why would you mention that now? I don't know why. He could have said, no, you know, everything's perky with Top Rank. Everything's cool with Top Rank. Why is he suddenly talking about wanting to leave Top Rank? Again, that could also just be something to make the fight more exciting, to make people talk about the fight. It could also be that as well. If Brook turns up, it's an upset. The star will give Crawford his first loss. Mayweather's mind is probably the most underappreciated or respected quality, even though it's probably what made him so incredibly great. I agree. Call me crazy. I'm not calling you crazy, mate. So I think Brook's a favourite for me in this fight. And why wouldn't you have Brook in a favourite in this fight? Yes, Crawford is the champion, and he's he's considered pound for pound number one. But this is the first time he's fought. This is his test. This is his toughest test as a welterweight. Toughest test as a welterweight. Win or lose, is this the end for Brook? No, he's already said if he wins, he was talking about a Pacquiao fight. So I don't know. If he beats Crawford or he knocks Crawford out, you look for the rematch in London or in Sheffield. And you talk about rematch as well. You talk about having a rematch in England. So he's been talking a lot about his shape. My shape. I mean, great shape, great physical shape. We'll be training, great shape. Are you listening to all these great shape? We'll see. Interested to see what gloves that Brook will be wearing on the night as well. I'm going to see what gloves they're going to be wearing. Bomac and Crawford's team will be pretty sharp. They'll know all the tricks of the trade. They'll probably know. But I just wonder. Pacquiao's pretty experienced, and he got robbed on the cards twice. He got done with the Bradley situation, and he got done again with the Jeff Horn situation. So I'm going Brook by stoppage. Yep, I'm going Brook by stoppage. But if it goes to points, I don't expect Crawford to win by points. Unless he's beating the crap out of Kell Brook. I don't see him winning on points. That's one script. The other script is, and I will add this in the script as well, if they've just been doing this to promote the fight, that Crawford's going to leave and go to PBC, then, and at the end of the fight, he re-signs a top rank, then we've all been duped just to sell the fight. But Brook looks good. He looks in great shape. And yeah, he looks in great shape. I'm backing Brook, not so much for his boxing ability, because his boxing ability does matter, but I'm backing him for unorthodoxy. Being unorthodox, I'm backing him because experience for having fought the better fighters at the higher level. Porter, Spence, and Golovkin. So those are my reasons why. He lost in those fights to Golovkin and Spence, but he lost via injury, as opposed to getting smashed to bits. Right? Both fights between Golovkin and Spence was highly competitive. Nobody else has come close to beating Brook apart from Carson Jones, and again, Brook wasn't in great shape for that fight. So the penny may have dropped in this young man. Is it too late? I don't know. If Crawford gets banjoed, it will be a big upset in 2020. Why? Why it would be a big upset? I don't understand. We use this word upset too easily. We've got a way of using the word upset too easy. Why is it a big upset? This is Crawford's step up fight. He's pound for pound, but it's a step up fight. It wouldn't be a step up fight for Sean Porter. It wouldn't be a step up fight for Keith Thurman. It wouldn't be a step up fight for Danny Garcia. But it's a step up fight for Bud Crawford. Why? Because the level of opposition that Bud Crawford has been fighting for quite a while. You look at Danny Garcia, you look at Errol Spence, and you look at Keith Thurman. Spence, Crawford, Spence, Thurman, and Garcia. All three guys have more or less fought one another for the most part, apart from obviously Spence fighting Thurman, right? Yeah, Spence, Garcia, Thurman, Porter, those four. The top four, right? Those four guys have more or less fought one another, apart from, as I said, Spence. Yeah, those four guys all fought one another. So they fought at a certain level. And Brook has fought Spence and Porter, 2 of the 4. Crawford's fought none of the 4. And that in itself is showing you why is this fight an upset. They're fought at totally different levels. Crawford's stepping up. Kell's already been there. Can anyone guarantee me that Crawford beats Spence? The same Spence that fought Brook that night? Can anyone guarantee me that Crawford could move up and beat Golovkin the night that Brook fought Golovkin? You wouldn't dream of putting Crawford in the ring with Golovkin, would you? Seriously? So it's all well and good to say, oh, well, he got beat by those two guys. The same thing could happen to Crawford too. He looks up for it. I know. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely up for it. Taylor Tate makes it close. We'll see tomorrow night. When Brook gets in the ring against Crawford, we'll see. So Crawford's already told him, oh yeah, you're going to come in about 180 pounds, are you? It's okay. I hope when he rehydrates, he can do the 12 rounds rehydrated. But he might not need to go 12 rounds. It'll be no. So he won't be getting hit by a welterweight in there. He'll be getting hit by a light middle or even a middleweight in there tonight. So Crawford's going to get hit by. We keep saying he's getting hit by a welterweight. He may be getting hit by a middleweight in there tonight, and that will be very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't like the look of this fight. I got a feeling about it. Brook looks more than up for it. Turn back the clock. It looks. Yep. Anything's possible in boxing. Anything's possible in boxing. And we've seen a lot of strange things happen in boxing over the last year or so. And I think we'll have to wait and see. But there's some stuff that keeps coming out and stuff I keep hearing. And if this stuff comes out the way I think it's going to come out shortly, a lot of YouTube channels are going to have to shut down. Either that or they're going to have to make some apologies. Because the stuff I'm hearing ain't good. But that's for another conversation another time. But good luck to both guys tomorrow night. Wish them all the best, or tonight, may I say. All the best to both guys tonight. And make the best fighter win. And let's hope there's no controversies. As always, don't forget to rate, subscribe. In fact, if you haven't subscribed, please smash the subscribe button now. Shout out to YouTube, you know who you are. And like these videos as well. Please do hit the like button, because when you hit the like button, it does help with algorithms in YouTube and it helps support the channel. Ingram, what will the casuals say if Brook does a George Foreman on Crawford? Oh, the casuals will say it was an upset. Oh, Crawford wasn't that good. When you look at Crawford's resume, his best opponent actually was Brook. He was the best guy he fought. That's what people will say. But I'm telling you beforehand. I'm telling you all beforehand that Brook is the best opponent that Crawford will have fought in his career at this point. Fully fledged welterweight. Not somebody who's grown into the weight division. If anything, he's outgrown the weight division. You know? So I think Kel's going to be coming in hopefully at bully weight. So we'll see how he does at bully weight. We'll see. But if Kel can't hurt Crawford, if he can't hurt Crawford, which I'll be shocked if Brook can't hurt Crawford. I'll be absolutely mortified if Brook can't hurt Crawford. Just defies logic. Crawford is gonna have his skates on. Yeah? Well, that's alright. Brook knows how to cut the ring down. Don't worry about him being on skates. It's the first real clean right hand that Brook lands. Will tell me where this fight is going. The first real big right hand. Because I saw, go back and look at the DeLuca fight. If you look at that fight with DeLuca, Brook was landing punches, but the actual punch that he hit DeLuca and hurt him with, I heard that shot, right? I heard that shot. I was watching the fight. I heard that shot. And I thought, dang. That's how hard Brook is hitting. When he hit DeLuca, that shot. I heard he broke something. So, he might not be a one-punch knockout artist. Well, he is. He's knocked guys out of one shot. But at the highest level, can he do it? Again, I go back and finalise by saying, suspect chin. Meaning, I'm not quite sure if his chin's up to the world-class level. There's some question marks about that chin versus the chocolate brownies. England dropping the knowledge. When you just go back and look at the DeLuca fight, DeLuca is levels below Brook. Okay, we're gonna ask ourselves one more question before I go off this show. Is Terence Crawford levels above Brook? And if so, what fight can you tell me he's levels above Brook? What fight? At welterweight. Can you tell me that Brook? And is there anybody that Terence Crawford has fought that Brook couldn't beat? And then I ask you the question. The people that Brook got beat by, could Terence Crawford beat them? And right there is what I'm talking about. Name me an opponent that Crawford has fought that would beat Brook. Name me one. Would you stick Amir Khan in the ring with Kell Brook? The Amir Khan that fought Crawford. Would you stick Kell Brook in the ring with him and be sure that Khan could make the 12 rounds and beat him? No, you wouldn't. Because at some point, because Khan has not got the power to stop Brook, so stop that thinking straight away. And Brook will probably come in weighing, no obviously, but then Khan's going to want that rehydration clause, isn't he? So the fighting can happen. But if you have no rehydration clause with Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, you know what's happening. You know exactly what's happening. But no, sorry. This is Crawford's step-up fight. And Brook has got what it takes to end this show by knockout. So, we'll have to wait until tonight to see what happens. I'll have to run down to the bookies to put my money down. I'll put some money on the Brook stoppage, some money on Brook on points, and then Crawford for the win. Not bad way to bet. Have a great night, and I'll speak to you all very soon. If you haven't already, check out our interview on this channel with Ray Robinson, the last man to beat Terence Crawford as an amateur. He's got plenty to say about Terence Crawford. Have a listen to that. I'm out. Take care. Thanks for watching.